Sam Schaefer here with Sam Schaefer Numismatics, coming to you guys with a new video today, and the subject of this video is cherry picking world silver coins. So those of you who are new to the hobby may already know this, and if you don't, this is actually a great way to find some interesting and semi-valuable finds at little to no cost, and that is by looking for silver coins that may have sort of fallen through the cracks and made it into a dealer's foreign coin bin. So most dealers, myself included, have world coin bins, and these are boxes that you can look through. And usually the coins are bought and sold either by the physical pound or by a quantity number of coins. You know, it may be 10 coins for $1 or 20 coins for $3, or sometimes it might even be priced at just, 10 cents a coin. It's really hard to say how it's priced. It just depends on the dealer and the type of material that's in the boxes, but it's very common to find these in just about any dealer's inventory. And there's a few easy tips that I can give you for how to locate silver in these bins. And the first is understanding the general date range of silver. So silver coins, by the most part, were beginning to disappear from circulation in the mid-1960s. In the United States, our last 90% silver coin was coined in with the 1964 date, and that was the case for quarters, dimes, and half dollars. And then the half dollars did continue in silver up until 1970. For the most part, foreign coins kind of follow the same rules. There are some countries that the silver content was reduced and eventually phased out, and other countries continued to use silver up into the late 1960s in their coins. So we identify the 1960s as a key date range, and we can kind of assume that most coins from that point up are not going to be silver. Now, the other thing to look at is, does the coin have reading around the edges? Now, what reading is these little grooves on the edge of the coin. Now, these were originally put on coins starting back in the 1830s, at least here in the U.S., and the reason this was done is because people would actually take and shave the edge of a silver coin and pile up the silver shavings, and yet it wouldn't make such a difference on the coin that they couldn't just turn the coin back into circulation. So they would do this repeatedly and end up with all these silver shavings that they could then turn into the Federal Reserve or wherever, basically anywhere their bullion was able to be exchanged. So it was a money-making scheme, and the mint quickly realized that they needed to do something to help prevent that. So the answer was to add those reeds on the coin, because it's very easy to tell if the rim has been shaved if those reeds have been tampered or broken down in any way. So because of that tradition, we still have reeds on our coins today, despite the fact that they don't actually contain silver. So here's a coin that I'm looking at right now, which is a nice French 1974 5 francs, and visually, this coin certainly looks like it could be silver. It has reading on the edges. The coin itself is silver colored. So what's the next step on this? We do recognize that the date range is a little bit late, so I'm immediately going to be suspect of this coin. But the next step that I can do is to test it with a magnet. Silver is non-magnetic, so a simple magnet test is pretty conclusive. So this coin is not silver, as we've been able to verify through the magnet, despite the fact it does have some of the indications. The other thing is it doesn't quite have the same sound as silver, so we're going to come back to this, because right here on top there is another coin that has a much earlier date range, and that is this 1879 Mexican Republic. This looks like possibly a 2 centavos. As you can see there. Now silver has kind of a very distinctive look to it, so it helps if you can kind of memorize that dull kind of whitish gray look. So let's go ahead and take this coin and see if it passes the same test. Now, obviously this is an 1879, so we definitely like the date range. Silver coins were certainly circulating at that time. So let's test it with our magnet. And it's not being picked up by the magnet, so that's a good sign. And is the coin reeded? Yes, it is reeded, as we can see. There is reeds on this one. This coin is a silver coin. And you can also look on, of course, the final test is to simply type it into Google. And I like to use the website NGC, which is the actual grading company, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation's website. I put that in my search header because they actually do give the metal content of these coins as well as the price guide value. So that can be really useful if you happen to find something that may have some value as well. So I would type into Google 1879 Mexico Republic 2 centavo, and it would give me the silver content of that coin. Now I wanted to mention something else, and that was the sound of silver. So let's listen here to me dropping the 1974 5 franc and the 2 centavo. Notice that the silver coin has a much higher pitched sound. Silver has a very distinct sound when it is hit against something. And I'm using one hand to hold the phone, which is kind of why it's a little bit shaky, and I apologize if anybody is nauseous by this point. But you can also take and tap it with a pen just ever so slightly on the surface, and that will also emit a ring. It's called the ring test. So those are a few ways to tell if a coin is silver, and a great way to find them is simply by looking through foreign coin bins just like this. And inevitably, as many foreign coins as we buy, there's going to be times when we miss something. So I have found some pretty neat finds, especially when I was first getting into coin collecting. I was going into shops and I was looking through world coin bins, and you just never know what you might find. So this is something that I sell, and certainly if you happen to find something in here, it's the way I look at it is finders keepers, and I think that people should have enjoyment and get some nice finds every now and then as well. So. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Again, this is Sam Schaefer Numismatics. I'm open 6 days a week here in Indianapolis. I'm located on the northeast side, I-69 and 106th Street. I'm available for appointment, so feel free to give me a call anytime to set up your appointment. And I do consultations as well as collection appraisals and purchases. I can pretty much handle all of your coin concerns, questions, and requests. So I hope this guide was helpful. Everybody have a wonderful evening or day whenever it is that you happen to watch this video, and happy collecting.